How are the Bucs going to look in the playoffs?
See, there's an obvious answer, but I'm going to say they're going to look good somehow. And it's going to be a close game, even if they lose, and we're going to be like, this is what's going to happen. You guys know what's going to happen.
Is Wirfs playing? Is he back to being playing or no?
I think I heard Wirfs might be back, and then
Jensen
might
right?
be back.
Jensen could be coming back. So that's two really big things, I think, personally, because I think everyone in the world who watches football knows they don't have an O-line. It's really hard to do a lot if you don't got an O-line. That's just the name of the game. So if they get those guys back, I mean, it's Tom. It's always Tom.
Thing that makes me think they could like make a little noise, nothing crazy, but just a little bit, is Tom actually looked like his former self yesterday. Where like I really have not seen him hit that many deep passes this year.
It's been a while.
And he was hitting Mike Evans all day.
It's been a while.
Like both Godwin and Evans ate, and that reminded me of how their offense previously looked. Like this year was really just Godwin.
That would be crazy because they would play the Cowboys.
Waxed. Absolutely.
Who?
Bent over and shown the 50 states.
Who?
The Bucks.
Yeah, that's not a good match.
I mean,
that's not a good match.
Hasn't
That's
Tom
not a good
Brady
match.
never lost to the Cowboys, though?
Has he?
I don't think he has.
They've played a lot the last 2 years. Or they played opening
played
day the
opening
last 2
night.
years, yeah.
They won.
Oh, yeah,
both
they
years.
did win both years, but I don't
Not
care.
this time around.
No,
man.
that's a
Like,
horrible matchup. You're gonna get Parsons at his all. You're gonna get everyone at their all.
oof.
That O line would not be able to
It's
handle.
just going to be closer than it should, though. And you
Can
know
I-
it is.
It'll be close because it's Tom and he'll find a way. But I think it could be bad for him standing in the pocket.
He's 10-0 against the Cowboys.
10-0.
That's crazy.
Holy
Can I also ask you a question
different.
real
That's
quick?
different though. It's that's crazy.
This isn't even like, I'm not saying this to you or anything, but like, what is going on with Dak too?
The thing
A
is,
lot of turnovers.
like he threw the pick in that Eagles game, the pick 6, and then he ripped off 18 in a row completions. So it's like, and
This
some
is-
of them aren't really the pick 6 in Jacksonville that hit Noah Brown in his hands. There was one again on Thursday night that hit the receiver in his hand. So it's like there's some that are bad, and then there's some that are, not his fault. So it's like it's so weird. That's something I did want to talk about in the pod today, because it's like he can be consistent and then have the blunder, and then he'll go right back to being consistent and have you in.
Well, that's
spot to
like
win the
why
game.
I think Dak was so good, like when he first came into the league, because he was like more like game manager type quarterback. Obviously, he's gotten better since then, but like he just didn't really make mistakes early on in his career, and it's like kind of weird to see him.
And I think now it's like, I feel like he's just letting it rip. I don't know, because they're throwing it a lot. Well, how many times did he throw on against the Eagles? I don't know. I think it was a
Let me
lot
go to the
because
stats.
they were down. But
I just want to make an observation for how he's been playing. I think when he came into the league, he ran a lot more himself than he has been doing these last like 2 or 3 years. That man never really escapes the pocket because for the most part, the pocket's fucking phenomenal. So why would you? But I think like if instead of forcing a throw, he decides to take off with his legs, that offense would be almost unbeatable if he can make that adjustment.
I think that he should though.
He should.
And
know.
like I don't know why he doesn't, and I don't get it because he's got some speed. There's not obviously not fast, but
And he's a bigger guy too,
Yeah, he
so
can
like
take
he can
a
take
hit,
a hit.
maybe.
I saw him run once this last week, and I'm like,
I'm-
it clicked in my brain. I'm like, I haven't seen him run like that in
Yeah.
a while. He's still an athletic guy, and I think you see the Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, all these good guys. The ability to rush with your legs sometimes makes you make the mistakes of throwing the ball into tight windows and stuff like that. It kind of negates that when you're rushing because not only are you gaining positive yards that are easy, but you're doing it without having to worry about creating a turnover. So I think if he like realizes that a little bit more, I think the Cowboys could do some serious damage.
He's like averaging the same amount of rushes per game that he has like his entire career, which is odd.
Just doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't.
It's weird.
Maybe some more sneaks and stuff, though, Like,
it could be it.
that's like maybe a little, like design carries as opposed to.
and I feel like if they added an option with him and Pollard in the backfield, I feel like that
Nasty.
gives you a little more, some spice on the offense because now you got to hold the edge there on that side. And Pollard's fast. Dak can run a little bit. Be an interesting wrinkle to the offense if they could do that.
The only thing I was saying though is just like it's kind of like I'm not. If I was a Cowboys fan, I'm not panicking. Like there's like this narrative Dak's not the guy. Like no, that roster. If that roster doesn't win a Super Bowl, it's the roster's fault. Like that roster is built to win the Super Bowl. They need to gel together on offense, defense. There needs to not just be this one person accountability stuff. I know he hasn't played good. He was my starting QB in this fantasy chip this week. You think I'm happy, but like it's life. I understand that like he's gonna bounce back. The Cowboys offense is gonna bounce back. If the play calling's there, he's gonna give you at least 250 yards, usually 2 touchdowns, even when he gives you a bad day, which is kind of what it's been like all year. So I think they're gonna be just fine. And to Kyler's point, I do see them doing probably some serious damage. Like I don't see them winning the conference, but I can see them making the conference chip.
One more thing that I just thought about too. Sometimes like the coaches will be like, since we have the luxury of having such a good defense, like go out there and just be more aggressive. Like take more shots because we know that we're going to get stops on defense to get the ball back.
Right.
So that could be a conversation.
You got Micah Parsons on the other end.
You have security
just flying off the edge. Like go take a shot.
It's security at that
And
point,
I honestly think that now that I said it, I think that's a very real possibility that Kellen Moore was just like, bro, just go sling it.
Let it rip. That's what happens. It's the best when it happens. You just let it fly.
Yeah.